Hey everybody, welcome to the Former Athlete Society. This is one of our public YouTube videos, and this is where I bring some of the content that I share in our private school community group, the Former Athlete Society, and I share it to a larger and wider audience, being YouTube itself. So I want to welcome you to our Former Athlete Society, or at least a snippet of it. And as always, I'm Adam Ringler, right? I run this. It is a labor of love. It's something that I find so important, and that is trying to bring community to an otherwise sort of tough demographic to be in, right? And what I mean by that is this transition from being a college athlete to being just a professional so-and-so, that's a tough journey to kind of navigate, right? You're so used to the structure of college athletics. To have it go away like that, it can be a little bit crazy. It can be a little bit challenging. So what I've wanted to do is try to bring some level of camaraderie, some level of a network, some level of the locker room, some of the best moments of sharing your wins, your losses, etc. And then also apply some educational components to it. And that's what the Former Athlete Society is all about. And that's what I'm sharing with you. Now, I do a number of different things. Every Tuesday, we do an accountability call. If you subscribe to our channel, you probably see it, right? It is essentially, it's about 4 to 5 different lessons I want to kind of share with you to help calibrate your week for what success looks like. And that might be things related to your performance, to your body, to your nutrition, to your psychology, to your recovery, to your training, all of those things, right? Our accountability calls is also a way of just showing up publicly and saying, this is what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to train X amount of times. I'm going to count my macros. I'm going to log my calories. I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, right? And that public accountability tends to help people stay accountable to their goals. It helps people lock in on doing what they've publicly said that they're going to do, right? Every Thursday, I do a Q&A call. And that Q&A call is your opportunity, if you're part of our school community, to show up, ask questions, and get them answered by somebody that's been in this strength conditioning space for almost 20 years, right? So I want to try to provide real-world, applicable answers to otherwise your questions. And be it as complicated as they may be, I want to try to answer them and give you some clarity. And these are all things that I think your strength coach or any of your coaching staff should have shared during your time in college athletics. And if not, then listen, that's what this Former Athlete Society is all about, right? So today I have the pleasure of trying to share a little bit of some snippets of our accountability calls. And this is, again, like I said, this is where we try to calibrate our expectations, our goals, and our mindset to doing the things that we need to do to be successful for the week. So if you're watching this right now, I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you for showing up, but not just showing up in this channel, not showing up for this subscription, but showing up for yourself. Because quite honestly, I think we're all just trying to do that, right? We're all just trying to get back to our rhythm, right? So life after athletics, and certainly college sports, it doesn't come with a training schedule, right? And this is probably relatable. You could probably feel this in your day-to-day. There's no sort of coach holding you accountable. You don't have 6 a.m. Lifts. You don't have mandatory check-ins. You don't have class checkers going to all of your academic assignments. There's no pre-practice lifting sessions. It's just you, your calendar, and a million different distractions, right? And you could relate to this. You got personal life. You have your business obligations. You have assignments. You have tasks. You have responsibilities. You have family. You have friends. All of these things, right? So today I want to talk through 4 things that might help you stay in the game of consistency. And especially when you're not surrounded by the structure that we've all thrived in during your college playing days. And the first thing I want to share is this: the myth of motivation. What do I mean by the myth of motivation? Why this is failing you? Why is this failing you? Let's start with something a little spicy. Motivation, it's trash. And I mean it. I really mean it. Motivation's great when it shows up, but it's so often unreliable. It's like that one friend who hypes you up, but always flakes the last minute. Hey, we're going to do so. Do you want to go and meet up on Friday night? And you're like, okay, you're looking forward to it all week. And then Friday night comes, or Friday afternoon, and you got these dinner plans, and they don't show up, or they cancel last minute, right? We all have had teammates like that. What actually really works is your identity. It's who you believe you are. So if you keep thinking of yourself as I'm just a washed up athlete trying to get back in it, your habits will match that narrative. But if you shift your mindset even a little bit to, I'm still a high level athlete, I'm just expressing it a little bit differently now, you'll train different, you'll eat different, you'll carry yourself differently. And that's so important, to attach that mindset and that identity and that belief to who you are and what you want to accomplish. So let me ask you this. What does a disciplined athlete do on a random Tuesday night? Exactly. They probably prep food. They don't blow off their lifting. They go to bed early. That identity beats motivation every single time. The second thing I want to share is how important creating invisible routines are. So how do you win and how do you accomplish your goals without having to think about them 24/7, right? The way you do that is you engineer the environment. You engineer the systems to set you up for success. And so what I mean by that is, it's simple. Here's the truth. Nobody really sets out to do the things they do without having a system in place to doing it. A lot of people do, maybe, perhaps, and they are unsuccessful. But where success comes is automating and setting up systems to sort of hack the thinking process, right? Most of our training back in your day, during your college days, and maybe what made most of us successful during your college training days, is finding ways to make decision-making automatic. And what I mean by that is that we didn't decide to go to 6 a.m. lift. We just did it because the system made it automatic for us. Now that that system's gone, you have to build your own version of automation. And no, it doesn't need to be a 17-step morning routine with cold plunges and gratitude journals and banana peel facials or anything like that. I'm just talking about simple, invisible routines. So what that might look like is setting your training clothes out the night before. It might be scheduling your workouts the same time every single day and week, just like meetings, just like calendar events. It might be pre-logging your meals in MyFitnessPal or Macro Factor so your brain doesn't argue with itself later, right? You can set those things up. When behaviors become invisible, they stop being decisions, right? And once it's not a decision, it's not exhausting. You don't have to waste mental energy thinking about, should I do this or should I do that or should I? No, you just do it because it's automatic. And that's what's so beautiful about making a routine invisible and making it consistent and making it something that's repetitive. The third thing I kind of want to share today is that, and I see this all the time with athletes, right? And this is so common. We could all probably get away with it during our youth and during our college days. And that's the weekend rule. Don't let 2 days ruin 5. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that's weekends. For most of us, that's us, right? You train hard all week, you eat clean, you get your steps in, you're dialed in, you're focused, you're locked in, all of those things. And then the weekend hits. And it's like the wheels fall off, right? Or maybe you're snacking, maybe you're missing meals, maybe it's late nights, right? All of the hard work that you've done the previous 5 days gets eroded, gets chipped away. And look, I'm not here. I'm not saying I'm holier than thou by any means. I'm not here to kill your fun either. I just want you to ask yourself, are these 2 days undoing the 5 that you've crushed? So what if you made one small change, one tiny little rule with yourself? So maybe that might be like, I hit my proteins on Saturdays. I go for a walk before I go out to brunch. I drink water multiple times during my Saturday or Sunday when I'm not pushing my hydration or my fluid. These little rules create boundaries. And those boundaries keep you on progress and keep you on track so you're not going off to the gutters. And think about that. How many of us do that from time to time? You crush your training, you're getting after it, you're doing all the things right, and then for whatever reason, you sort of lose motivation. You lose your discipline. You lose the habits that got you this success in the first place. Right? If we just create a little thread of some guidelines, some discipline, and some boundaries, so often it prevents us from going completely off the rails. The last thing I want to share is that training like an athlete, now that you're a little bit older, you're out of your college playing days, you're not a professional athlete anymore, right? It's not training for a season. It's training for life, really, at that point. And that's a big fundamental mental shift, right? And a lot of people struggle with it. So back in college, you trained for a season, right? You peaked at the right times, you recovered then, maybe you had preseason or an off season, then you go into preseason, it intensifies, right? There's an order, there's a scheme, there's a rhythm to the training year. Now, you don't get that luxury. This is a forever game, right? There's no March Madness for your life. So you're not training for a championship anymore. You're just training for quality of life, really, for energy, for feeling confident when you're at the pool, for playing with your kids, for being strong in your 60s and 70s. So yeah, maybe your lifts don't have to be PRs anymore. Maybe walking the dog is part of your cardio. Maybe skipping a day isn't actually really slacking, but it's smart recovery. These are the mental things that we need to shift a little bit. Don't chase your old weight room numbers, build new ones, longevity ones, right? That is what's so important. So I kind of want to bring it home, right? As a small, maybe like recap to what I've just shared. Stop chasing motivation, right? Build it into your identity. Make your behaviors so simple that they're invisible, right? Your routines. Respect your weekend. Don't let it wreck your work. And ultimately train for life, not just one season, but for the season that is your entire life and longevity. And if you're still with me with this, thanks for riding along. Right, shoot me a comment in YouTube, drop them down below, right? Or direct message me. You can do it a number of different ways. I'm super active on social media. As always, I'm always down to talk shop. I'm here to help. And hey, if no one told you yet today, you got this. So don't forget that, right? It's so important. So until next time, I just wanted to share this quick video with you. Thank you so much for watching this channel, subscribing, for liking, for being a part of this community. And if you enjoy it, check out adamringler.com/school, SKOOL. You can find out more information about our private community group that we're building to help support former athletes that are making that transition from your playing days into your professional ones. As always, I appreciate you. Until next time.